Hi friends, I'm Juani and welcome to Juani's house. In today's video we are going to cook, and this is going to be a really quick meal that you can put together, and in less than about 45 minutes or so this will be ready. So we are going to make baked ziti. Baked ziti is one of my all-time favorite pasta dishes, and I love the ziti pasta because it has the hole here in the middle and all of the juices goes in there, and I think ziti has a sweeter taste. I love this. This is a great baked dish, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. So what you're gonna need is you're gonna need some ricotta cheese. I'm using the part skim milk ricotta cheese. I have some traditional sweet basil pasta sauce. I have my ziti noodles. I also have some Parmesan cheese. I have some mozzarella cheese. I also have cream cheese. This here is the beef that I love to get from Aldi's. This beef is amazing. Now it's 73.27, but it is so good. Now we're going to drain off any of the excess fat, but it just has this really nice flavor and texture. So we have this, and it's 100% beef. We have our onion, our bell pepper, just a little bit, and we have 3 cloves of garlic. What we're also going to do is I have my water over here boiling, so I am going to get my salt cellar and sprinkle my water with some salt. We're going to preheat our oven to 375. That we have our pan here getting hot, so I have it on medium heat. So while that is all warming up, we're going to come back here and we're going to chop our garlic, our bell peppers, and our onions. And once again, we're going to chop our onions, especially fine, not like too fine, but I don't want big chunks of onions in my pasta. So just make sure that it is like at a nice texture. Now you know it's going to cook down anyway, so but we just still don't want any huge chunks of onions. So I'm going to go ahead and slice up our garlic. Okay. I love the smell of garlic, and you know garlic is something that you can take like for high blood pressure. It's really good for high blood pressure. It's an antioxidant. So I cook with a lot of garlic. And I even had one of Mr. B's, his best friend actually eats garlic whole every morning. So, you could take garlic pills, but he chooses to eat them whole. And so yeah, they're really good for all types of ailments and to ward off any types of sickness. So this is my bell pepper, and you know I never use an entire bell pepper in any dish, not unless I'm making whole bell peppers. So I always have bell peppers left over, and I try to freeze them, but I have not bought enough to freeze, which is not like me, but I need to do that and just go ahead and put them in the freezer. So I'm going to go ahead and slice up my onions, and then we're going to go back across and we're going to dice them. Actually, let me change my knives. Okay, now this will make this process so much easier. we're going to go over this again. I know a lot of you guys like my cooking videos. Some of you guys don't like cooking videos, and I understand. But I try to do something so that some things that everybody like. And you know, my channel is a lifestyle channel, and part of life is we have to eat. So but what I think I will start incorporating more is like different restaurants that we attend, that I might go to, so that you might, if you're in the city and that's a restaurant that I've gone to, or you know, you can look on my channel and see what I thought about the restaurants, what we ate, what was popular, and things like that. Okay, so I think these are fine enough. Okay, so I'm not going to use the entire log of ground beef. I'm actually going to use half of it, and then the other half will be used on another dish. I'm just going to cut this in half. Yeah, and then we'll use this here in another dish. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to come over here. Go ahead and put this in the pan, and then let it begin to, all the oil begin to render out. And we're going to chop it up. All right. We're going to discard that. Okay. I always have to remind Mr. B that when he's cooking, that the handle should be on the outside, on the side of your stove, because if you walk by, whatever you have, you don't want to walk by and you knock it over. So I'm constantly going back and like turning the handles to the side. So we're gonna let this, press that down a little bit, and now we're going to season our meat, because although we will have seasonings or whatever in the pasta sauce, we need to season the meat. So I am going to add some Himalayan sea salt. Yeah. And then I'm going to add my other seasoning. So I have my teaspoon here, and I'm going to add, this is some onion powder, so that's like 2 teaspoons of onion powder. And although we're adding garlic, I'm still going to add some garlic powder. And my old faithful, guys, you know I have to put this stuff in everything, is the Tony Shateri seasoning. Okay? And just 1 teaspoon of that, because I've already have some the sea salt, so we don't want to make it too salty. Okay, so while that's cooking, and we're going to continue to just check on it. And this was cold, it's coming out the refrigerator, so it's going to loosen up. At first it's a little stiff, but we're just going to go ahead and let this cook. Our pasta water is getting a little bubbles at the bottom, so pretty soon it'll be boiling, and when it begins to boil, we'll go ahead and add our pasta. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get our baking dish that we'll be placing this in, and then when I come back, we will continue on with the preparation of this meal. Okay, so now we have our ground beef, and it's partially cooked all the way through. So now is when I'm going to add the onions, garlic, and bell peppers, so that all of those flavors can meld with the beef as it's cooking. Okay. I'm going to make sure I get all of it. Okay. And we're just going to go ahead and just stir this around. And it smells good. I know I tell you guys that all the time, but it really does. It smells so good. And this is going to be enough. Like if you have a larger group of people, of course, you know you would use the entire log of ground beef, but it's only 2 of us, so I don't need to use that much. Then I'm gonna go ahead and get my strainer ready, because we want to strain off all of that fat that the ground beef is rendering. And of course, if you use a leaner ground beef, you won't have to worry about that. But since this is has a little bit more fat in it, we're just going to go ahead and render that off. Okay, so I've just rendered off some of that fat, and this is almost ready for the next step. And you see how quickly those onions, they're becoming translucent. That is what we want. Okay. So the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and add my pasta sauce. Okay, and that will begin to warm through. And I'm also going to add just a little bit of water and shake it up to get that excess sauce out of there, because I don't want to leave nothing in that bottle. All that goodness. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. I just put just a little bit of water. You see that in here? Just a little bit. I'm going to shake it up. And you just need a little bit, because you don't want to water down your pasta sauce that much, although it will thicken back up. But if you put too much water in there, yeah, it's not going to do well. Okay. Now we're just going to go ahead and let that warm through. Now the one thing that I'm going to add is a tablespoon of sugar, and that will help with that is going to help with kind of neutralizing, or so that the pasta sauce won't be so acidic. I tend to think that pasta sauces, when they come out the can, out the jars, they taste like it came out the can or out the jar. So I always like try to cut the acid with just a little bit of sugar. And already you see that our sauce mixture is bubbling through. See the little bubbles in there? So yes, and it's still on medium heat, and I'm just gonna let it bubble through. And then in the meantime, I forgot to tell you that I bought some garlic bread here. I picked this up from Publix, or you can get the Texas toast. Whatever you like is fine. I'm just gonna cut this up in some strips and get ready to place it on my baking sheet, and then we'll come back. Okay, so now as you see, our sauce and beef mixture, it is going very well and it smells so good. I can't say that enough. But so now that that is going, we need to go ahead and put our ziti in the water here. And I'm just gonna cook it until it's al dente. So probably about 8 minutes or so, because it is going to cook the remainder of the way in the oven. Okay, so I have our pasta in here and put a little bit more. I probably just need to go ahead and put no, that's about it. Okay, so that's gonna cook, and then I am over here with my pan, my baking pan, and I'm going to put this butter on here. Now this right here, this Earth Balance, guys, is so good. It is, I think it's made of soy. It's non-GMO and it's vegan. Puda got me hooked on this because, you know, she was vegan when she was home. And this is so good. And it melts like butter and it tastes like butter. Mr. B doesn't even know that he's eating not real butter and that it's vegan. Now I do get real butter sometimes, but I was like, you know what, let me get this and give our bodies a break. So I'm just going to spread this all around the bottom of and on the sides of the pans so that it won't stick. And this is also gonna help build like a little crust on the bottom of the of our ziti casserole. Put just a little bit more. Yes, but yeah, it tastes just like butter and without the calories, and yeah, and is vegan, so it is soy. It's not the margarine. Okay, so you don't feel like you're missing anything. Okay, so now that's ready. I have my bread over here ready to go into the oven. And we're going, as soon as our pasta is ready, we'll begin to put everything in the pan. Now this is ready now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn the stove off, and then it will begin to kind of thicken up, and that's what we want. And then we'll come back. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my cream cheese, and I'm going to use the entire block of the cream cheese. I'm just going to go ahead and put it in here because we're going to put this in the microwave because we need it to be softened. So we have that. So I'm just going to put this in the microwave for maybe just a couple of minutes so that it is soft. And then we'll add the ricotta cheese and we'll come back. Okay, so this is how the cream cheese should look. It should look almost like it is like cake dressing, cake frosting. That's what it should look like. Okay, so now to that I'm going to add my ricotta cheese. Woo. Okay, and we're going to mix these two together. Okay, and you see what that looks like. And I'm using my whisk because I think it's easier to use a whisk. If you don't have a whisk, you can use a fork. Okay, there we go. Now if you don't like ricotta, you can also use cottage cheese. So, but if you use cottage cheese, I would say get some of the dried Parmesan cheese and put that in there, and then that would give you a really nice texture of ricotta without you having ricotta cheese. And a lot of times, you know, you can find, and I've done it with Parmesan cheese as well, and it was just as good, and nobody missed anything. So don't think if you don't use ricotta that it won't taste good, because it will. So this is ready. I'm waiting on my pasta, and so the first thing we're going to do, I'm gonna drain my pasta, then we'll bring it over here so that we can begin assembling the ziti in our baking dish, and then we'll be almost done. So I'm gonna sit this over to the side. Yes, look at that. Yeah, until we're ready. Okay, so here we are, we're ready now. We have our greased, our buttered dish here, and then our pasta is ready. It's al dente, and we have our mixture of ricotta cheese and the cream cheese. So what I want to do first is I'm just going to put a little of this at the bottom, similar as you would if you were to create a lasagna, and just put some of that juice and stuff down there, just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. Y'all remember that song? All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of the pasta. It's the pasta right here. It's probably about half of the pasta, and actually I probably should have just went ahead and put the whole thing in there, but I know how we are. We will eat on this for a day today and then tomorrow, and it won't be touched no more. So it's being wasteful. Okay, so now what I want to do is over this I'm going to put some more of this pasta sauce. All over. Okay. Put a little bit over there in that corner. A little bit over here. Okay. Then, oh, here's my spoon. Gonna put our mixture. Okay, and we're just gonna spread it. Now, you don't have to like spread it like spread it all over, because it is going to kind of spread itself when it's cooking, but you really just pretty much want to get it on all the corners. Okay. But you want to make sure that you get it everywhere in here. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to add some mozzarella cheese. Now if you don't like mozzarella, you can also use provolone if you like. Provolone would be good. But mozzarella gives it like that really cheesy, ooey gooey effect. And that's what we want, because, you know, I love cheesy dishes, and there's no such thing as too much cheese if you ask me. Okay. And now I'm going to add the Parmesan here on top. Look at that. Make sure we get any meat that isn't covered. We're going to Just make sure we cover with some of that cheese, okay? Now, we're gonna do the last layer of the pasta. Okay. Okay. And we get all of that on there. Okay. This little bit. I just had that a little bit in there. I want to make sure I use it all. And we'll come back and clean up our pan. Okay, so now we're going to use the remainder of the pasta, of the sauce, and then we will put the cheese on top. So I'll come right back. Doesn't that look good? Oh, this is gonna be so good. Go ahead and just pour this all over. And make sure that we get enough everywhere. I'm just gonna go ahead and spread this. Look at that. Ooh. Ooh, y'all. Oh, my. Oh, yes. Okay, so now, the last thing I want to do, I'm going to put some more of this shredded mozzarella on the top. And then we're going to follow that with the Parmesan cheese. And we're going to go ahead and place this in the oven. Simple, 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 easy peasy meal. I just want to make sure I get it all over. I don't want to miss a spot with any of these good cheeses. And when Parmesan melts, oh my goodness, the saltiness mixed with the flavors of our sauce that we have enhanced. Yes, please. Okay, so this is it, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the oven. It's gonna be in the oven for probably about 30 minutes because we want all the cheese to melt. We want it to melt from the inside. We want the ricotta and the cream cheese to kind of start oozing, and we want all this to start bubbling. So while that's cooking, we're going to prepare our wedge salad. I'm not going to show you that. You just take an iceberg lettuce, cut it into quarters, and that's it. You make sure it's clean, wash it or whatever, cut it into quarters, and then we're just going to sprinkle it with the bacon bits and the crumbled blue cheese and some blue cheese dressing, or you can use some ranch dressing with the blue cheese crumbles, however you want to do it. You don't like blue cheese, use whatever type of dressing that you like, and that's it. And then the last 5 minutes that this is in the oven, we're going to put our garlic bread into the oven, and that'll be toasted, and everything will come out at the same time. So we will be back. All right, so this is our baked ziti, guys, and doesn't it look amazing? You see it's still bubbling because it's just out the oven. And you see we have some of our meat sauce that when it cooked, it kind of popped and oozed over through the crevices of the cheese, and how our Parmesan is sprinkled over and how it melted with that mozzarella cheese. This is going to be so good. So I've gone ahead and I've put my garlic toast into the oven, and I have my wedges here that I've cut for my wedge salads. So I'm gonna go ahead and dress those because I just want that baked ziti to kind of set a minute, and before we cut into it, and about time the garlic bread is ready, that would have set enough. And we're just gonna go ahead and start dressing our wedge salad. And this is really easy. And a real easy salad to assemble, and it's a real elegant type salad that you can assemble, especially like if you have like a dinner party, your girlfriends or something is coming over. See, it started to ooze over as I was cooking. Yes. And these are those Italian dish towels that I get from Grove Collaborative. I love these things. They are great. They feel sort of like a paper towel, but they're made of some other type of material. But yes, and you just place them in the dishwasher and it will clean and sanitize them, and you get 2 in the pack. So, but yeah, these are really cute. And I have 2 more to take out when I get done with these. So we're gonna go ahead and just assemble this wedge salad here. And so I have our salad cut in the wedge. Okay, so I have our salad cut here in the wedge. And so what I want to do, because Mr. B likes ranch dressing, I love blue cheese dressings. And so I am just going to dress his with the creamy ranch, and I'm gonna have the Wishbone light blue cheese dressing. And Mr. B doesn't like blue cheese, so he likes blue cheese with other things, like with the when I make it for a steak, he likes that, but he does like bacon. So we're gonna add some of these bacon bits, and I'm almost out. I like having these with my salads, so I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit on here. And if you wanted tomatoes, you can slice up tomatoes, but Mr. B can't eat tomatoes. Okay, then I'm gonna do mine. So you know mine is gonna be really fancy because I like everything. So we're gonna move this out the way. I love blue cheese. I love feta cheese. I love goat cheese. Any of that, yes, I will definitely eat it. Let me see, does the top come off of this? I'm not quite sure. Well, does the top? No, it doesn't. Okay. So I'm gonna be careful on how I drizzle this. I just like it. Woo! Okay, I was gonna say I like for it to kind of drizzle over the front. I almost put too much on there. Then I'm just gonna sprinkle some of the bacon bits. I'll put a little bit more on his because that's it. We're done now. And then I have my reduced fat crumbled blue cheese. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and open this, and then we're just going to sprinkle this on. Just like that. And of course, if you need more dressing, you can put more salad dressing. And so when you eat this, you just simply just break up the lettuce and it's have the dressing with it, and you break it up and you add everything in there, and you just, that's your salad. So we will take our bread out the oven and plate everything, and then we'll come back. All right, so here is dinner tonight, and it is the baked ziti with the wedge salad with blue cheese dressing and blue cheese crumbles, and I also have some garlic toast really quick, and it took me about an hour. It took me between 45 minutes and an hour. I would have gotten done sooner had I not been recording, but it's right in time because Mr. B is coming through the door. So guys, I'm about to go. But before I do, if you are new to Juani's house, I would love for you to subscribe. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so that you won't miss any of my upcoming uploads. So guys, I'm about to go, but before I do, you know what I always say. The next time you're in town, you can always stop by Juani's house. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.